Eurythmy is a practice, a modern practice of mindful meditative movement, at least the way that I'm teaching it, Eurythmy as a personal practice. And in Eurythmy, body, soul, and spirit are woven together in a most harmonious way. As we're learning to know and practice, who am I? Who is my core self living inside this body, the sacred body, physical body, life body, emotional body, astral body? Who is my core self? That core self is the one that is conscious. And this conscious self, born out of spirit, its essential nature is spirit. And this spirit self can grow itself to be self-aware of its eternal nature. But we have to cultivate that space in our inner practice. In normal life, our conscious self is distracted or engaged so fully in the world around us and in our inner processes that it's easy for our inner self to forget, who am I? I am a spark of divinity here on the earth, working out this biography, growing myself, growing my wisdom, growing my capacity to love. And in the Eurythmy practice, we're touching on all of these archetypes with all of our exercises. So please use these exercises as your gift to yourself, even as we tread these most unusual, uncertain times, quarantines, the virus, increasing hotspots and red spots in our nation. The only way to survive all of these healthily is to really know who we are inside ourselves, so that the hate and the fear and the distractions don't take us away from what's really important, growing in wisdom, growing in love. We're here for the long haul, not just one lifetime, but for eternity, growing ourselves. So with that, I'd like to begin our Eurythmy practice today. We'll start with the Eurythmy meditation, of course. Then we'll continue with weight bears downwards, light streams upwards, as you know, walking. Then we're going to take our walking exercise further by practicing how to move in space consciously, so that no matter where we are in life, we're aware gently, but as a real substrata of who we are, we're aware of our own presence in life. Then we're going to go back and learn the angel wings that we did last week, contraction, expansion, and then we'll take this wonderful step again into working with sounds in Eurythmy. And all of these are building into things that will make you, me, us strong, to build strong immune forces, to be well grounded in our very sources of health. And that's what I wish for you. So they all work for you. Standing still. Take a deep breath. Center yourself. Who are you? And now I'll speak the Eurythmy meditation. As I've done before, I'll move my hands. You may move your hands if you like to, but you don't need to. I'm just talking with my hands as your teacher to show you where I'm putting my attention. I seek within me creative forces working, creative powers living. The heavy weight of earth tells me through the word of my feet. The forming power of the air tells me through the singing of my hands. And the strength of heaven's light tells me through the thinking of my head how the great world in the human being speaks, sings, thinks. Standing still. At this moment, I find I can center myself in my heart, moving my mind out of the head, which chatters a lot, back into the heart, where I can feel the capacity for wise love growing. Step to the right, step to the left. From this place above your heart, send your energy down into the earth and feel. Weight bears downwards. From here, this point below the solar plexus, let your arms lift into light. Light streams upwards. Feel in the space between your heart and your solar plexus a green diamond overlapping these two other triangles, and feel. In the middle, I hold the balance. Keep your gaze level while you do that, and try to feel these three sensations in yourself simultaneously. And release, and release. We'll do that again, starting here above the heart. Send a line of light below your right, below through your left leg. Imagine you have a blue triangle here. We choose blue as a deep color. Without losing this, lift your arms with the bright yellow color. Light streams upwards. Take a deep belly breath. In the middle, I hold the balance. Feel your three centers. And release, and release. And it's equally justified to do this in the other order. So now beginning here, send light through your arms. Light streams upwards, keeping your head straight. I'm going to move my right arm. That's not for you to do, but I am. And feel this light space, radiance all around your head. And now ground it through your legs. Weight bears downwards. In the middle, I hold the balance. And release. And release. We live in our body in these different capacities. We are aware that our head thinks, our heart feels, our limbs will. Now we stand here strengthening the middle system, the heart, bringing in balance our thinking and our willing. Standing straight, we're going to begin threefold walking. Imagine a crown of light on your head. We do that to enable us to stand nobly. We imagine gold, warm, flowing, golden, living love in the heart. We do that to enable us to move with presence. And feel the feet now, and it's their turn to wake up. We're going to walk with articulate feet, talking to the earth. And you'll remember the practice. You lift your back foot slowly, carry it over a little bridge, if you will, touch with the toes first, and place. I'm going to lift my skirt just a little. You can see that. Lift, carry, and place. Lift, carry, place, lift, carry, and place. Now we'll go backwards. Lift, carry, place, lift, carry, place, lift, carry, place, lift, carry, place. Continue, and I'll go sideways as I've been doing with you. You can find your own pace this time, but I want to talk to you as we walk about the cycling energy. So please begin as you lift. We have rising energy. As you carry, we have balance. And as we place, we let ourself go into the earth. And we rise again, lift, carry, place. And the important thing for you right here is to focus on these cycles of energy and to learn how to integrate the cycling energy with our breathing, especially when we're going so slowly. In Eurythmy, we always touch with the toes first, but only in the beginning are we doing it so slowly. If you watch the screen, you can see this movement I'm doing with my arms. You may imitate me, but you don't need to. But I want you to perceive in yourself this circular energy. What I'm doing with my arm is completely integrated with my feet. I'm going to reverse it and go backwards. Lift, carry, and place. Lift, carry. And with the place, we have a really organic exhalation. With the lift, organic inhalation. Lift, carry, place. I'll go forwards again. Lift, carry, place. Lift, carry. And now we can overlay into this inspirational thoughts about all of the cycles that we move through all the time. I'll go backwards. Like sunrise, noon, sunset, birth, life, death, springtime, summer, fall, and then there's the dark winter below before the next springtime, and so on. Rest for a moment. Consider all of the centers that you're trying to work with. Your head bright, the heart loving, and the feet articulate. We have to become very gentle to get this to work. Do it again, and I'm going to speak the verse of St. Patrick's Prayer, affirming for us how much energy we humans carry in us through our consciousness and our love. Here we go. Light of the sun, radiance of the moon, splendor of fire, swiftness of wind, depth of the sea, stability of the earth, firmness of rock, I bear in me. Do that again, 4 steps forward and 4 back. And I won't do it at all this time. I'll just speak to you. Listen to your own rhythm as you walk. Light of the sun, radiance of the moon, splendor of fire, swiftness of wind. I changed directions if that was 4 steps. Depth of the sea, stability of the earth, firmness of rocks, I bear in me. And rest. Now, we never restrict ourselves to such slow walking when we're doing pieces in Eurythmy. We also learn to walk with a lot of agility. And our first bridge exercise to start working with that is to practice this right here, taking more and quicker steps forwards and backwards. So let's begin just by stepping onto the front foot and then stepping onto the back foot. And this establishes one pulse beat. As I am warming this exercise up, I'm using my arms going back and forth, and I can feel like a huge church bell. If you've ever seen the churches, especially in Europe or in Asia, even China and Japan, that have these great big oscillations. Okay. Now, we'll do 2 steps in that same time. 1, 2. So each step is only half as long as the 1 is. Okay, we'll do 1 again. 1 big step onto the front foot. 1 big step onto the back foot. Okay, 2 steps. 1, 2. Try to feel luscious when you do this. 2, 1. 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2. Now you get the challenge. Can you still step on your toes? 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. And 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3. 1. And each step becomes a little more rich as you slow down. 2 steps. 1, 2, 2, 1. 1 forwards. 1 back. And rest. You can have a lot of fun with that. And parents, by the way, if you do want to do a little eurythmy with your children, this moving forwards and backwards in different tempos is something that you could begin with, maybe 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade. They can get that. It's also a kind of fun way to teach fractions, by the way. But for us as adult learners, it's helping us to develop more and more agility in the feet. Now, hidden underneath that exercise was this exploration of the difference between moving forwards and backwards. We've already begun in previous lessons a conversation, the difference between the sensation of moving forwards and backwards. When we move forwards, we're moving into the visible world. When we move backwards, we can't see where we're going. And so we have to open up what I call the back door of the heart. We need to feel all these sensations through our back, as if our back were as alive or as awakened as the front space. So let's, moving once more a bit slowly, let's practice the difference between forwards and backwards. Those of you who are in the previous webinar, you'll recognize some of what we're going to do now is related to the poem that we worked on. Begin by standing in your landing spot. You'll come back to here again and again. Let's move forwards 3 steps, feeling how easy that is. 2, 3. I'm using my threefold walking. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Again, 1, 2, 3. Going backwards. Before I move backwards, I feel my back. 3, 2, 1. Back at home. I'm going to go sideways now, but here I don't have the front space to look at, nor do I have the back door of the heart. I have as my arm, my ear, this whole right surface. Even moving forwards, I don't even have to bend, but I can stand straight, but I can feel all these side surfaces of my body. And back again, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to, I've done a front path to my right. I'm going to go backwards into that back door of my heart, forwards, 3, 2, 1. Now to the left side, 1, 2, 3, and back to the right, 3, 2, 1. I hope you've seen that we've just created a cross. Beginning here, we went forwards to the forward arm, to the right arm, to the back arm, and over to the left. So let's try again. 1, 2, 3. Change your consciousness. 3, 2, 1. Move to the right side, feeling these right surfaces. 1, 2, 3. So move to the side, feel these surfaces. 3, 2, 1. Moving back. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. To the left side again. 1, 2, 3. And switch to your right side. 3, 2, 1. Friends, what are we doing? The more we learn to feel our body as temple for the spirit, the more we can walk in all these different directions in consciousness. And the overlay into life is that when you show up in life, you feel confident. These are my feet. Here's my heart. Here's my head. And you really wear yourself. You clothe yourself in consciousness. So that's underneath this practice, becoming fully embodied. Try again. 1, 2, 3, 3. Carry your nobility to the right. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2. And I hope you can feel, as you go backwards, forwards, feel this nobility doesn't have to be sober or earnest or hard. There's joy and light in it because spirit is so happy to live in matter. Now I'm going to pull out a whiteboard here, and I'm hoping that you can see that this that it mirrors or presents on the screen the right, the word forward, the word backward. But this is up and down here. This cross is the form that we've just done. We've moved forward, and we've moved to the right, then we've moved to the back, and then we move to the left. So I'm going to try to explain this here. If I'm a teacher, I draw the form on the board like this. But in your mind, you must lay this form flat so that the word forward is in front of you. What that does is the way that we as eurythmists draw forms on the board. So now, I, as a eurythmist, I'll place myself here, and I'm going to move forwards 3 steps and back again. That means I move forward. See, I lay it like this. I hope this all makes sense to you. It's important for our next steps. We go forwards 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, and backwards 3 steps, arriving at where we were. Go to the right, 1 to your right, back to the center, backwards, return to the center, and to your left, here, and back again. I we'll be later putting more forms on the board, so showing you this. Once again, move forwards. That means up on the board and back. Move to your right and back. Move to the backwards and back. And move to your left and back. Next, I want you to walk backwards to come to the back point of your cross. Now we're going to practice walking diagonals. On a diagonal, you're going to start by going from the back diagonally to the right forwards, and then to the left forwards, to the right backwards, to the left backwards to get back home again. See if you can visualize that. You're starting with the cross, and then after you do the cross, you go back to the back point. You walk diagonally to these different points, but always facing forward. How do we do that? I'm at the back of my cross. Going to my diagonal right forward. 1, 2, 3. Going to my diagonal left forward. I feel my front space and my left side. 1, 2, 3. Going to the diagonal left spot. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going back to there. 2, 1. Now I'm going to give you this as a practice for the week that comes, because next week we're going to be moving in star forms with vowels. It will get more and more multi-layered. I'm going to turn my back to you and do the same thing that I just did. And sometimes I get confused how the computer is going to mirror this, but hopefully this works well. I walk forwards away from you. I'm back. I walk to my right. 1, 2, 3. I'm back again. I walk to my back and forwards. I walk to my left and back again. Now I'm going to walk back to the bottom of my cross. And now I'll walk diagonally forwards to the right, walk to that point, walk to that point, walk to that point. And finally, I'll do a whole circle around my cross, around to this point, to this, the top of it, back, and back. Finished. So you'll have the week to try to work on that and figure that out using the video download that you're going to get. And again, the purpose is so that we can start moving more in space and not only do standing eurythmy. Now, let's continue to the angel wing exercise. Imagine that you have those big angelic wings on your back, right and left. And I want those wings that fall to the floor, trail behind you. And you are going to cross your arms above, as if you're touching these wings, and you're going to lower your wings, cross behind you, and raise them again. Beautiful, beautiful exercise for opening your backspace. Let me turn to you, do it again. Open your wings. Close them behind you. Raise them again to the width. Fold them above you. And you'll remember what I said to you before. Your scapulas are the roots of your wings. So as you move, you're really using your shoulder blades to get free movement back there. And below, your neck is free, your shoulders relax, and above. And rest. Love that movement. Hope that opens up your shoulders. So we took another element of that last week, and I said every time we do a movement in Eurythmy, or any movement also in life, but in Eurythmy we cultivate the sensation, there's also a counter movement. So as I lift that wing here, this one, as I let it sink, there's a counter movement, an etheric movement that's rising. I'm showing you what's going on just on half of my body. Normally this arm wouldn't be working this side. So then as this arm raises, the counter movement sinks. That happens on both sides at once. And we call this the physical wings with the arms, and we pay attention to the etheric counter movement. And that then really opens up our backs. So open your arms above you and then fold them. And lower your physical arms, raise your etheric arms. So there's another set of invisible wings crossed above your head. Raise and lower. Try to see yourself from behind. Raise your physical wings, lower the etheric wings. Try to visualize how perhaps your angel sees you as you walk through the world. Your backspace is always illuminated. Again, this is a great way to work against spending too much time on the computer, too much time stressed with daily life. Remember your backspace. One more time. And again, beautiful angel wings. Great. Now, let's transition seamlessly into the contraction expansion exercise. So now with your arms feeling like wings, place your attention in your heart and in the periphery, both. Spread your arms wide, but imagine this arm, it's only part of a whole circle of light that you're standing in, and take all of that light. Breathe the world into your heart, accept the world, let it fertilize and fructify yourself, and unfold your life into the world. Give it away. We can never become empty because we're always nourished again. Take the spirit light into your heart and share yourself with the world. Yes. And again, within my heart shines the light of the sun. Imagine this big golden circle sphere that you are. Now a tiny point of light inside the world, within my soul. Now connect all the way to the sun and the stars. Within my soul weaves the warmth of the world. I will breathe the light of the sun. I will feel the warmth of the world. Light of the sun, pour into me. Warmth of the world. That was the last, next to the last line of the form. Now drop your arms. The warmth of the world flow through me. Feel your light. Feel yourself grounded. Feel this glowing in your heart. Great. Take the next step and let's do this contraction, expansion, and walking forwards and backwards. Open your arms wide. As we contract, we take 3 or 4, doesn't really matter, steps forward. Our steps become more and more intimate as we come forward. Threefold walking. And as you go back, your steps become a little more joyous and freed and become more tender. And out of this tenderness, more and more and more freed. And that is our journey. That's how you work with your own personal practice, integrating your feeling, your visualization with your arms, with your legs. So the body becomes spirit. The spirit becomes body. I'll speak the verse. Within my heart shines the light of the sun. Within my soul weaves the warmth of the world. I will breathe the light of the sun. I will feel the warmth of the world. Light of the sun, pour into me. And warmth of the world. Drop your arms, flow through me. Now try that one more time and think of hundreds of people around the world doing it with you in simultaneous time, spread through the world. If we were in a class together, we would work on feeling one another. We're not in the same class. We can't move the same immediate chi that you have in a big circle of people, but we're moving in simultaneous time. What does that mean? Let's try again. Think of all the people sharing experiences and honor everyone's human experience. Within our hearts shines the light of the sun. Within our soul weaves the warmth of the world. Wherever we are, we will breathe the light of the sun. We will feel the warmth of the world. Light of the sun, pour into me. And the warmth of the world flow through me. Flow through us. Thank you. Now, we're going to take the next step and look at the vowels in Eurythmy. All of these warm-up exercises that we just did for the last half hour are exercises to integrate us so that we can stand straight, balance in our three systems, so that we can walk and talk with the earth, so that we get grounded. We don't want to just be out thinking big thoughts without practicing groundedness. And then learning how to fill and feel all the space. But eurythmy doesn't really become eurythmy until we draw on even more formative forces. And these are the same forces that we have in language. We've already touched that a little bit. In language, we have the polarities of vowels and consonants. And the consonants, as we looked at last week, we'll pick it up again today. The consonants are sculptural. They have k, k, p, d, t, or s, and p. And in eurythmy, we move the energy of all of these sounds. We can say our body speaks. Our movements speak in eurythmy. And when we speak the consonants, we are very active. When we do the vowels in eurythmy, we draw upon very specific soul moods. We draw upon first, we teach the 5 primary vowels, the pure vowels, a, e, o, and u. Other vowels are mixed vowels, e, u, mixed vowels, and they're more complicated to learn, and they don't carry the same curative, healing elements that the pure vowels do. So we don't turn to those mixed vowels for quite a while. The vowels draw in the energy from the planets. The consonants draw in energy from the constellations. And so the vowel ah belongs to Lady Venus. And the vowel A to Mars, E to Mercury, O to Jupiter, and U to Saturn. And in anthroposophical medicine, we also understand how all of these have created the different organs in the body. And in our studies, our knowledge of the human being, we understand how these vowels also manifest as different qualities of our feeling life, and how they also correspond to different ages in life. In future Eurythmyonline modules, we can go deeper into some of those. You can give a little chat if you say, make sure I don't miss that one, it's okay. So we're going to begin with the vowel ah. The first of all vowels. You could also say it's the first and the most naive of all human experiences, human feelings. Or as Aristotle says, all knowledge begins with wonder. And the sound ah is the wonder of innocence, the wonder of the newborn. And in order to express this in eurythmy, you first have to get in touch with wonder. What is the source of wonder in yourself? Reflect back on what it's like to see a child. You were once that child in the cradle. You were once before you were a child in the cradle. And just think of that utter, vulnerable, powerful innocence that comes of being completely open. And now with that mindset, we're going to speak, please, with me, the sound ah. Let me model it for you first. Ah. Now you try, please. Ah. Feel how it's open-throated. That's different from oh or ooh. Ah. Try again. Ah. And now, as you say that, imagine out of your mouth opens your soul feeling. Don't move your arms yet, but just feel that. Ah. Your eyes, my eyes become big, full of wonder, full of astonishment. Now, when we do Eurythmy, we don't speak at the same time. We're going to allow the throat chakra, the breath stream, to become still. And now we put that same energy into the heart. So this time, as I say ah to you, create that feeling of openness without moving your arms. Go. Ah. Now, the journey is to express that same feeling through your arms, that same openness. From here, as I say ah, please don't speak it yourself ever as you're practicing, but from here, let your arms open into this gesture. Ah. And if in this gesture your heart is wide, at the same time you'll have a stream coming into you whereby the world can fill you. And of course, if you were standing like this or like this or like this, the world can fill you, but beautiful the world is. Sometimes I like to imagine when I get up in the morning and take my walk as if I came from another dimension and I try to look at the trees as if I've never seen them before. What an astonishing place to land in this dimension. Again, imagine, give yourself the power of wonder. And do 5 more of them wherever you want to, above, below, right, left, always with this shape though. Let me be sure to emphasize the fingers should be together. The eyes should stay, the head should stay in this dimension, not excarnating by looking up or down. So stay here. And you're trying to feel this shape. And let me emphasize, don't just be open like that. That is more, it's too wide. Don't be here. That's just be here. Learn to have perfect openness. I'll say it 5 more times for you. Ah. And again, from your heart, move into that. Ah. Take your feeling back into your center and grow into wonder, up or down. Ah. Let this chalice of wonder be filled and down. Ah. How else could we grow? One more time. How else could we grow as human beings if we didn't allow ourselves to be filled complete openness? Ah. And rest. And I like to tell the story of when I first did Eurythmy. And when I first learned the ah, I tried so hard. I went, is this, no, is this it? No. Is this it? Is this? And my teacher again and again said, no, more honest. Get more to your core. Find how to do it with strength, with clarity, with genuine openness. Dear viewers, Eurythmy people, through doing this, we imprint this power of Venus, this power of beauty, of love into ourselves. We educate our own soul life to understand what perfect openness is. This is the gift of Eurythmy. So as you practice it this week, work on that. Now, attentive to the clock. I'm not going to go through the whole series, do that next week, and you can read about it in your notes. But I'm going to go straight to the last of the vowels, which is the ooh. And I bring that as a wonderful contrast. Just as the ah was openness, the ooh is completely contained and parallel, and therefore sober. The ooh, the gift of Saturn, into our body. It has created all the parallel bones, and we hold everything contained when we do the ooh. So we can draw our forces in from the outside. That's one way of doing it. At the same time, my feet are absolutely next to each other, and I'm squeezing my legs together. And the ooh can be roots into the ground, can be roots into the sky, anywhere. Let's take the ooh and we'll move it downwards here. Pull yourself into parallel lines and draw this ooh down, legs together. You are a great tree making your roots. Ooh. Now we'll create the opposite movement right from here and root ourselves in the heights of heaven. There we go. And down again. And up. Feel how contained your energy is. We work with this a lot. Let's go down in therapy to help people who need to be supported in their ability to ground, to stand in life. Don't move from your position, but if you're a person who can't stand straight, you don't have the solidity of being. This gives you the blessing of being able to stand in your life. Let's go up again. Ooh. Into the universe. Ooh. And back into your roots. Ooh. Good. So now you can practice ah and ooh, exploring the contrast and how both of them are healing feelings for us, for ourselves. And now I'd like to turn to the soul exercise, which is based on the sound ooh. Last week, we did the soul exercise known as ah reverence, which we practice opening to the wonders of the backspace, the world, the place where the angel wings are. And with hope, ooh, we take the energy from that backspace and root it into ourselves. And when we do it, we're going to do it again with ooh energy, but this time the ooh energy is like this. We're going to lay the backs of our hands together and build this parallel roots like that, squeezing the back of our hands together. And at the same time, my feet, my knees, really tight together, touching each other. All right. I wrote more about the soul exercises in the paper. You can read a little bit about it. But we have to engender the feeling of hope in this exercise. So think into our desire for world peace, our desire for healing, our desire for a good outcome for this crisis that we're all living in, a good sustenance of help for your own personal development. And with this, we're going to make of ourselves a grail. Lean backwards slightly. And imagine that all the help that you need will come to you only from the backspace, from the angel space. We hope for help. And then, after resting in hope for a moment, we lift our arms, place the back of our hands together, and we allow ourselves to be filled with strength and blessing. Ooh. Sustain that feeling for a moment, and then release. Let's do that again. We linger here for a moment. I don't want you to count, but I want you to rest in hope. Maybe 3, maybe 5, maybe 10 seconds. We feel hope. And then we lift and ground spirit into ourselves, going down. And feel yourself breathing warmth and light into your body. Ooh. This exercise strengthens our breathing and warms our metabolism. It's really helps those with a light or a weak metabolism. Again, hope. Lift into the light and ground. Enjoy the slowness. Hope. And hope. This should be done 7 to 10 times in a row. Today, we'll just do one more, but at home you can do more. Hope. And now take a moment to just stand there and see how that reverberates through you. Do you feel grounded? Do you feel light? I feel like I could stand here forever. My weight is well balanced on my feet. I have no desire to go anywhere else. Fully present. All right. Now I will move and take a step. We'll continue building these next week. But now I want to do with you again the sound L that we worked on last week. We're working towards building a practice for the beautiful Eurythmy word, hallelujah. So we're building up the sound for that. But we need to keep this experience of L alive. So as we learned last week, with the consonant L, the sound of transformation, we always begin at an imagined horizon and we go deep. Having done the L, you should really be able to feel I go deep to the roots. I lift out of the roots to the heights, keeping my hands together but my head straight. At the top, I open. It's as if my rooted tree makes leaves. Again, going down, curving my arm like this, L, fingers find each other. I turn so the backs of my hands are forward. Lift, and then unfold in the light. Going to come even closer to the screen so you can really see my hands. Go wide. Go like this. See my arms are slightly rounded. Going towards my roots. Watch this movement. The backs of my hands are facing forward. Lift to the light. And as if I have a cup, I open in light. Again, into the depths. Rising to the light and unfolding. With L, we have the energy that transforms darkness into light, death into life, hate into love. We can do big L's and little L's. We can do tiny L's. Want to try? We can have leaf. We can have little. We can have little leaves. Hide. Lovely. Lilies. Release. Now finally, I want to do a series of 7 L's, rising, getting larger and larger as they go. Let's imagine you have below you a small pool of water, cleansing water. You're going to, with the L, stir that water across the different centers of your body. And this is in preparation for the Hallelujah, which we'll learn probably in 2 weeks. But here, imagine this water here, and way down as low as you can, you'll stir the waters with a little L. I direct that to my feet. I cleanse my feet. Now this L rises a little more. I cleanse my knees. And that L rises a little more to your diaphragm. I cleanse my metabolism. And now to your heart. My heart thoughts are free. I cleanse my feet. My throat, I cleanse my speech. To your forehead, I cleanse my thinking. Now, as big as you are, I cleanse my whole self. So once again, that was feet, knees, lower body metabolism, heart, throat, forehead, thinking, and your whole self. Dear friends, the time is approaching. Let's fold your arms. Close your Eurythmy practice. Learn to feel the resonance inside yourself, the reverberation of what you've done. Now release. So someone asks, will there be a replay? Yes, there will be a replay. These will be, once again, on YouTube. I have every intention of getting them in tonight. Where do the eyes look? We're doing the L. The eyes are always here in a neutral position, but they're very wide. We practice what we call open gaze, looking, holding as much space as we can with our eyes. Yeah. Oh, someone asks, are we only doing these sounds internally? Yes. Yes, never speak the sounds. There's only one rare exception, and I'm not going to give those to you right now. The thank yous are coming in, but we do have just a couple of minutes to answer questions. Do you lift your head? Someone said, H-E-A-L, do I lift my heel when I move forwards and backwards? Do you mean head or heel? I can't be sure.
It was when we were doing the threefold walking.
Yes.
And it might be, when do we lift the heel? When we're moving forward or backward in threefold walking?
The heel at the beginning of the lift.
Cynthia, would you please tilt your screen down before you show this part?
Okay.
Thank you, my dear. Excellent.
So when we do the threefold walking, we begin by lifting the heel, then the arch and the toe, then we walk, and then we do the toe, the arch, and the heel. For a moment, both feet are on the ground, and then the back heel finds the impulse, lift, carry, and place. Goes around the back heel, then the arch and the toe, slowly moves forward, toe, arch, heel. Yeah. More questions here? Where do the eyes look?
That's it so far. Oh, here we go. When we do the cross, does the heel or toe come down first?
The toe comes down first. That's this element of threefold walking that we're always emphasizing. And I'll give it to you again. When the toes touch the ground first, we're really talking to the earth. If the heel touches the ground first, it's an abrupt and not elegant approach to walking. I'm just going to show you here for those who are still here. Let me see here. If I do walk the cross with my heels first, I'm just walking like pedestrian walking, 1, 2, 3, 1, or also with contraction, expansion. If it's with the heels first, I'm just walking out of hips, but if I walk with the toes first, I'm really able to move out of the heart. Mind you, when I walk to the grocery store, I walk with my heels first, and I take my walks in nature with the heels first. But in everything in Eurythmy, I walk with the toes first. And that's part of this practice why we work with it in the beginning so long, so that we create a way of movement that lives in the heart and not in the lower body and the will. Yeah.
Another question is, when doing the vowel movements, we visualize the counter movement in every vowel?
When doing the vowel movements, the counter movements, yes, they are always there. Yes, they're there. Yet, in the practice, you should focus much more on getting the emotional feeling that you're pouring into the sounds. And then, like with this the counter movement is filling you, but I would call that even advanced work. What I want you to sense is that you're really imprinting your soul into space with the same truth as you imprint your soul into space when you speak. Big, huh? You know, I'm going to show you. A couple of you might know, but I have written a book. I don't know if it's written backwards or forwards for you, a book called Eurythmy, Movements and Meditations. You can get it in Amazon. But in this book, I have meditative pictures and descriptions of every one of the sounds. I'll just turn to the ah right now just to show you. I don't do the shipping of these myself, so you have to get them from Amazon, but like that. Well, someone says I have the book. So a meditative description of the feeling that we need as we embody Venus, as we embody Saturn, and so on. Yeah.
Okay, last comment. So in walking forward with the toe first,
Yes.
and then also backward with the toe first.
Yes.
There
yes.
we have it. Thank you.
Cynthia. Always, because as I once said to you, the toes are like fingertips. And that's the part with which we can sense the earth. And like I also said, that enables us to move from the heart and not from the deep and heavy will.